Hey there, welcome everyone. Let me just get this little thing sorted out here. We seem to have this the wrong way around for some reason. So I am just going to do that and do that. No, for some reason. There we go, that's better. Welcome everyone. Fantastic to have all of you on the live stream again. It's been maybe a month since I last streamed, and I really miss live streaming. It's one of the most fun things about having this channel is getting to chat with everyone out there who loves smart home devices. And there's lots of things to talk about today. I've titled this live stream talking about new sensors for the new year. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I want to add as sensors. I've got a lot of sensors and I find sensors to be absolutely fantastic. So as always, I'd really love to hear from you guys. Please feel free, make comments in the comment boxes and let me know what it is that you're looking to add to your list of smart home devices for 2026. I'm certainly got a lot of things planned, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that today. Now, the way that I normally kick my live streams off is just to go through a couple of the questions that have been asked recently on my comments on my YouTube channel, because I find this is a really good way to engage with you guys and give you a little bit of information as to what is going on my channel and some of the questions that I'm getting. So what I'm going to do, I'm head into the comments section over here on my channel. We'll just scroll down here if we can get YouTube to play game, and we will have a look at the questions that we've got for the last couple of weeks or so. But please feel free, join in, come along, have a chat. Good morning. We've got a couple of people already. Welcome. Zane Zeus, awesome. I like that 4x4 you've got there. Looks fantastic. Seems like you've got a few hobbies on the outdoor side as well. Good evening. Where are you from, Zane Zeus? Great to have you on board here on the live stream. Fascinated to hear where you're from, what you're running. Hopefully Home Assistant. I'm sure you've got other systems as well. Let me know. And welcome as well, Kiwi Chocoholic. Great to have you here. Obviously, we've had some catch-ups. Fantastic to have someone here, a local from New Zealand. And it's good morning here in New Zealand. Good evening, I'm guessing, Zane, somewhere on the other side of the world. So yeah, let us know what's happening. What are your plans for 2026 for the smart home? Be great to hear what it is that you've got planned. I've got lots of new things planned, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about them today. So first of all, sensors. Now, currently in my smart home, I've got a massive amount of sensors. I'll just give you an idea here. We'll just go into my devices and services, give you a little bit of an idea. Let me just get my screen to go up there. We'll hit that one. I think that'll give you an idea. All right. And we'll go into Home Assistant and we'll have a look. I'm going to just run through, first of all, the things that I'm sensing at the moment. And then we're going to talk about some of the sensors that I'm hoping to add to my system at a later date, hopefully next year. So just running through these things, air gradient. So I've got a range of air quality sensors. I find measuring air quality quite fascinating. I measure starting off with temperature, humidity. Then I'm measuring rainfall. That is coming in through the EcoWit. That's my weather station. Alongside of that, I've got barometric pressure, which is always good to see where the weather is changing. I measure rainfall, wind, sunlight, exposure, all of these things. But also from air gradient, I get particulate matter. So that's really interesting to see when you get those spikes, when people light up their fires, for example. Pretty fascinating, and you could control, for example, the amount of air that you're pulling in from outside through your ventilation system when you've got that massive amount of particulate in the outdoor air. Let's see who else. Okay, Zane is saying to us here from Oman, and yes, using Home Assistant and Apple Home, recently started using Homey with a self-hosted server. That is very interesting to hear because I was just reading up all about this self-hosted server, and I'm quite fascinated to hear what you think of it. So just to give everyone else a little bit of an idea about what Zane is talking about here is, so Homey, I've got this one over here, the Homey Pro, which was sent to me and I've been playing around with for a while now. But yes, very exciting news to see that they've actually now allowed you to install Homey on your own device. So yeah, please let me know. One thing that I'm really interested to know about that, Zane, is when you install it on your own device, I see you can do mini PCs, Pis, all sorts of things. And then from what I can understand, when you want to integrate things like Zigbee, Thread, Z-Wave, these sort of other radios, from what I can understand from watching someone else's video about it, you need to purchase their hub, which has got the radios in it. Is that your experience, Zane, or is it possible to actually integrate other radios, like, for example, using an SM Lite or using a Sonoff Zigbee dongle, something like that? I'm really interested to know, because that for me is a major stumbling point if they're forcing you once again to buy the hardware. But yeah, please let me know, Zane. I'm fascinated to hear more about that, because it's interesting to see that player moving around a bit. Kiwi, play with the new IKEA sensors. Yes, IKEA just opened the other day. New cameras installed and more smart sensors in 2026. Interesting. Now, talking about IKEA, I can't see it over here, but I just bought one of the new IKEA sensors. IKEA has just opened in New Zealand, and I went to, first of all, I ordered a few things online, and then I went to visit them the other day to have a look around. Now, unfortunately, none of the new Matter over Thread based sensors are available in the New Zealand store at the moment. The only thing what is available is some of the Zigbee stuff. So I bought one of the Zigbee dimmer buttons. It seems to have two buttons. It's got a single press, double press, and press and hold. And I very easily integrated it into Home Assistant, and selling for 10 New Zealand dollars, $5 US. Very cost effective, I think. Nice design, runs off a single AAA cell. Now, I really like the fact that it runs off AAA cells rather than coin cells. Coin cells I find to be a real pain. So yeah, I've tested one of those. I used a really nice little blueprint. I will do a video about this, but Mark, another one of the viewers on the channel, sent me this blueprint that is very easily allows you to use the IKEA Zigbee Smart Dimmer button along with Home Assistant. So yeah, let us know, guys, if you've tested out any of the new Matter-based ones. I'll be interested to know. All right, Zane saying, well, it's nice to test with Raspberry Pi and free for 1 month, but considering it's $150, better to buy the Mini with what is I'm doing now. I'm bringing my devices from Home Assistant via the Home Assistant app in. Okay, interesting. So from what I can understand, Zay, you're keeping Home Assistant running, keeping Apple HomeKit running, and you're running Homey on the side as well, and using Homey, I'm assuming, as some type of a bridge. But yeah, it's interesting that they only give you 1 month of free, and then $150. Yeah, I agree. I think you're best buying the Mini. The Mini, just remind me, I know the one that I've got has got the Z-Wave and everything built in. The Mini, has it got all the radios, or are there a couple of radios lacking in there? Really interested. So I'm very interested to see where they're going with this whole system, Homey Pro. My feeling about Homey Pro, hardware is very professionally built. I thought that the feel and the build of the quality of the device was fantastic. Obviously, the one I've got, very expensive. It's about 300 and something US. It's a lot of money for a smart home hub. The one thing that I absolutely love about Homey is the graphical user interface for designing automations. I love graphical user interfaces, and I thought Node-RED was going to be fantastic. I found Node-RED quite difficult to use. There's a lot of code you've got to put in behind the graphical flows. So yeah, that's what I love about Homey. frustration I really found about Homey is the fact that for each device type that you want in, you have to download an individual app. I just found it a bit clunky and a little bit painful. Oh yeah, there's Zane saying exactly the same thing as me, really loving Advanced Flow. Yeah, so Advanced Flow for me is fantastic. I wish Home Assistant would bring something like Advanced Flow in. I think that is what's missing on Home Assistant. Yes, they've got the graphical user interface for integrations or automations becoming better, but certainly Homey Pro has absolutely killed it with that. And yeah, I'm actually going to boot up my Homey Pro. Throwing my glasses all over the show. I'm going to reboot up my Homey Pro and get it running again because I just love that. I think it is a really cool system. And maybe I must get my Homey Pro running and use those flows. Mini just have Zigbee. Okay, so that's the difference. So the Mini, instead of having the Z-Wave and all the others, it's got a Zigbee. I'm assuming, has it got Bluetooth as well or just Zigbee? Okay, interesting. But obviously you can bring devices you can share from Home Assistant. You can share also from your HomeKit. So just to give you an idea, in my smart home at the moment, Zane, I've got Home Assistant, obviously my device of choice. I've got it running on a mini PC that I paid about $50 for, an old IBM piece of hardware, 8 or 9 years old, fantastic. Best move I ever made was to shift over. I've run it on Raspberry Pi, I've run it on Home Assistant Yellow, I've run it on Odroid, and now Mini PC all the way, would never change. Tested out Proxmox recently, played around with it, just too difficult. I've come back to my bare metal on a Mini PC. All right, so yeah, that's what I've got. I've got Home Assistant running, I've got a HomeKit, the reason I'm running HomeKit mainly is for Matter over Thread devices. I'm still struggling to get Matter over Thread working with Home Assistant, although I do have the dongle set up, but I bought the new Home Assistant, the one with the toilet roll holder, as everyone's calling it. Yep, I bought that one with my own money, and I am playing around with it, but still can't get Matter over Thread working. So I use HomeKit for bringing Matter over Thread devices in. Okay. Zane is saying, let's see here. Same here, I have Home Assistant on a Mini PC. Oh, fantastic, Zane. Just out of interest, what type of Mini PC did you use? What are the specs? Interested to know. Personally, mine is running, I think it's got 8 gigs of RAM. It's about an 8-year-old IBM Mini PC. And yeah, just absolutely cruises it. If we go over to my Home Assistant quickly, I can show you how it's running. I'll just switch you guys over to the bigger screen here so that you can see better. Let's switch it as a share like that, and I'll share. Oh no, that's not going to show it. We've got to go on it over here. All right, so if we go to Home Assistant, you can see mine is currently running 8% and 44 degrees Celsius. I love focusing or always being able to see what's going on. Now, even when I ran, so I did run Frigate on for a while ago, and I've got when I ran Frigate without Coral, man, and we hammered it up 50, 60, 70% processor, even on one camera. But I put a Coral TPU on that, brought it way back down to about 10%. So yeah, Mini PC is just amazing. It's honestly the best way that you can go for running Home Assistant. Now, what am I talking about today? Oh yeah, for sensors. I was going back to the things that I'm sensing. So I'm sensing everything about the air around me, pretty much everything except for one thing, and I'm going to show you just now what I'm going to sense further on air movement. I've also got, obviously I'm sensing presence using millimeter wave sensors. What else do I sense in my house? Yep, that's probably it. Yeah, sensors, millimeter wave movement inside the house. Now, the new power monitoring is fantastic. I've got 2 power clamps. I measure my main power of my house and my water heating power. Just love power. I would love to go to full power monitoring of every circuit, but I haven't got there quite yet. So what am I going to focus on this year for sensing? I will show you. I've already got one of the sensors in, and the other one hopefully I'll get soon. All right, so Zane is just responding here. Zane is saying, Intel N50, 12 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte SSD. Oh, wow, that's a bit of power. Is that a reasonably new mini PC then, Zane? I'm not really all that too up to spec on the different Intel chips. I think mine's an i5 or something. It's quite an old one, as I say, but yeah, yours must be humming with those specs, I'm sure. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things that I've done with Home Assistant is getting it running on Mini PC. Okay, so the new sensors that I'm going to go for, I'll show you the first one. First one is this over here, a air velocity sensor. Now, man, this is expensive, eh? $61 US for a tiny little board. Yeah, I had to think quite carefully before I put the order in for that one. Now, what I'm going to do with this is, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I installed a heat recovery ventilation system into my home. That draws all the damp, stale air out of my bathroom kitchen, and it blows fresh, filtered air into my bedrooms and living spaces. What this does is reduce CO2 in my home and also reduces moisture and brings fresh air in. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was actually measure the airflow in the pipes of the supply into my home. And the only way I can do that is with an air velocity sensor. So I bought this one. I've tested it already, and I'll tell you some of the things that I've come up with. I will be doing a video to show you all about this. But what this little guy does is basically the air flows through over here, and it's using some, I'm not sure if it's infrared or exactly what it's using. Let's see if it tells us here. Utilizes a MEPS thermopile-based sensor. Okay, thermopiles, I'm assuming because it says thermo, that must mean temperature, heat. So I think what it does, I think it heats that little thing up, and then as the air flows through it, the more airflow cools it down more. And based off that, it gives you an output, and it gives you a range. There's two of these sensors available. You get a 0 to 7.2 meters per second, or you get a 0 to 15, I believe. Now, I've gone for the 0 to 15 meters per second. I've hooked this up. There is an ESP home library available for the sensor. And without too much hassle, I did get it running. Now, I'll tell you some of the issues I ran into. First of all, I put it in a curved piece of ducting, and the airflow in that curved piece of ducting was very volatile, so it was going up and down. I did then go and I put an averaging system on it, so it averaged out. But then I put it in a straight piece of pipe, and it was much better. So watch out for the video coming soon all about that. It's a pretty cool thing to measure is airflow. Okay, Kiwi Chocoholic. Let's see what, I live in the country, so no issues with air quality. Moss on the trees tell me that is good. Only grows where air quality is good. Yeah, air quality is really important. I think people underestimate it. And one of the things that I found, because in my main job as well, we deal a lot with air quality, air tightness, and all these sort of things. And one of the big things in New Zealand is, yeah, we might have great air quality outdoors, but often the indoor air quality is the problem. We have a lot of problem with mold in our homes caused by dampness and moisture. And yeah, indoor air quality is really important to measure, as well as outdoor air quality. Okay, Zane is saying, today I changed my all sensors batteries, especially the soil moisture sensors from Third Reality, and some other sensors are getting ready for tomorrow's Christmas trip for 2 weeks. Oh, nice, nice. So you're going away. Hope you enjoy your trip. Now that's interesting. I've got a new video coming up on soil moisture sensors. I've tested lots of soil moisture sensors, and I've just ordered a really cheap one, a Zigbee one from AliExpress. It was about $10, and I'm going to be showing you how that compares to some of the other soil sensors that I've tried. I agree Zigbee is a pretty good protocol for soil sensors, especially if they're running on batteries, because it's very low power draw, and the batteries seem to last for ages. So we're going to be looking at 3 different soil moisture sensors, battery-powered ones. 2 of them, one of them is exactly the one that you've got, is the Third Reality one. That runs on a AA battery. So it's got a reasonably large housing, but I really like the waterproofness of that device. The way it closes up and things, it looks really solid. I'm going to test this really cheap one for $10 US. And I'm going to test another little bit more expensive one, but runs on a coin cell and communicates via Bluetooth. That was the first one that I ever tried. So I'm going to do a comparison video. People seem to love comparison videos. So I'm doing a comparison video of these three types of sort of cheaper battery-powered soil monitoring sensors. Because, yeah, soil monitoring is a fantastic thing, especially if you've got lots of plants, or you've got outdoor and you want to manage irrigation and things like that. Soil monitoring is pretty cool. Certainly something that I've really enjoyed. So yeah, battery changing. Oh man, it's a bit of a mission, isn't it? Having to go around and change those batteries. So yeah, I do like to have as many wired sensors as possible. But then again, wired sensors, you've got the wire, can be a bit ugly. So it's a real mixed bag as whether you go wired or unwired. So that's the first sensor, airflow. I've played with it. It's pretty cool. There is an issue that I'm still facing, and I'll tell you about it in the video. But yeah, that's one of the sensors. The other sensor I'm interested in, so I'm measuring power in my house, but I'm not measuring water flow. The reason I haven't been measuring water flow is I didn't want to go and cut my pipe and had to get a plumber in and a lot of expense. And then what if it fails? You know what I mean? So I saw this sensor recently called the droplet sensor. Now this little droplet looks pretty cool, I must admit. It is, let's see, okay, that's going to give you the best view of it. Okay, so droplet sensor, basically the way the droplet sensor works is it just clamps onto the pipe like this, and then it can measure the water flow, even in a copper pipe, but through the pipe itself. This looks really cool. I've looked at a couple of reviews of it. Everyone is talking very highly of it. Easy to install. You literally just clamp it over the pipe and screw it on, and you can see exactly. Nice thing is it works with Home Assistant Partner. I always love buying products that have got that works with Home Assistant logo, and it also works with MQTT. One of my most popular videos ever has been MQTT with Home Assistant. MQTT is fantastic. It's a great way of integrating devices. And I'm currently playing with Zigbee to MQTT. I finally got it running. We can talk more about that later, but I had a lot of hassles with Zigbee to MQTT. And then I got a great little device from SM Lite. It's a little hub called the SM Hub Nano, and it has Zigbee to MQTT pre-installed on there. So I'm connecting that via MQTT to my Home Assistant and loving it. The amount of entities you get through Zigbee to MQTT is just amazing. But yeah, getting back to this, this looks like a super cool device. So I'm going to see if I can get a hold of one of these because it looks amazing. It monitors your water flow. No batteries, so it's got a cable, so no batteries to replace. It uses ultrasonic accuracy. It's measuring 50 times per second. Wow, that's crazy. Works on most pipes, universal clamp, automatic water shutoff. I'm not sure how that works because it's not actually cutting the flow. You would have to have an additional device. Made in USA. Wow, so USA made. And I don't think this is an unfair price. They're selling it for $199 US. Currently ships free US shipping. Okay, so I'm not sure what the shipping would cost me. Let's have a look if we go order now, what it's going to cost me to ship it 60 days. Let's go and check out and see what it's going to cost to country region. Seems they don't offer shipping around the world. That's a shame. Okay, shipping method. Perhaps they do. Enter your shipping method. Okay. I'll have to look into this further, but yeah, really keen to try out that droplet device. Okay. Kiwihonic new home, so no mold or humidity issues. Great to hear. Yeah, you want to avoid that mold. There's so many different moldy homes in New Zealand. It's crazy. All right. Barry Evans, welcome. I like that. Is how it's said. That's a South African word meaning uncle. So if you live in South Africa, you would call anyone that's older you and Tani would be for the ladies. Okay. All right. Kiwi is saying, I have 3 monitors now from EcoWit. Great for monitoring the veggie garden. Yep. those EcoVit soil sensors look pretty cool. I've watched a couple of reviews on those. They look great. I will try and get my hands on one of those in the new year. I do love EcoVit's products. They're what am I running? Weather station from there. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot speak highly enough about that. So yeah, we'll be trying one of those EcoVits. Okay. Zane is saying, I'm not looking for an expensive water flow meter, just a shut-off valve. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of shut-off valves. There's a couple of ways of doing it. You can either get ones that will actually turn your existing water shut-off valve if you have one. My shut-off valve is right out at the street with the meter, and it's a little tap that goes like this. I haven't seen anything to control that. You really need the ones with the sort of actuator arm to control it. The other way is to basically get a plumber in and cut the pipe, which is a real pain. Okay. Kiwi is saying, I will look at auto watering in 2026 as well, based on soil moisture sensors. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea, Kiwi. Obviously, I've reviewed a couple of little pumps recently, sort of indoor watering systems, where you've got a pump and then it's automated and pumping water to your plants and things. But outdoor watering, I did review quite a nice little flow meter and valve from Sonoff about a year or two ago. That's really cost effective, and yeah, it's definitely a starting place for outdoor irrigation. So it might be worth having a look at, but perhaps you're going for a more sophisticated system, Kiwi. If you're living on a lifestyle block, you're probably looking at a larger volume of water and maybe a more professional type system. Okay. Welcome, Donald. Oh, wow. Yeah, love that car. Look at that V8. Fantastic. Hello from Central Florida. Merry Christmas to all. Thank you. Thank you so much, Donald. Merry Christmas to you guys. Can you believe it? We're almost at Christmas. What is it, another 3 days or so, and it'll be Christmas time. In New Zealand, it's summer Christmas. You guys in the Northern Hemisphere got winter Christmas. Okay. Central Florida. Yeah, that's right. Welcome. Florida must be beautiful this time of year. How cold is it in Florida, even in winter? Probably not too cold, eh? All right. Zane is saying Third Reality water systems are amazing too. Yeah. Third Reality for me is a really super cool company. They create tiny little Zigbee-based sensors, and yeah, I've tested most of their sensors. I find them to work extremely well. They're very cost effective, and they all work on AA's or AAA's. So you're not using coin cells. I'm all for avoiding coin cells if possible. Yeah, they're a real pain. I don't like coin cells. So yeah, big shout out for Third Reality. They are great. Okay. Zane is saying Merry Christmas to you too, Donald. Yeah, great community going here. Merry Christmas to everyone. Now, I've got another thought that I've been thinking about recently, which is and each at different values. Okay. Donald is saying 49 degrees the other night, 69 degrees now. Yeah, I'm a little bit useless when it comes to Fahrenheit, Donald. Sorry, I know I'm a typical centigrade type person. I struggle understanding the Fahrenheit ones, but I'm assuming 69 is not too bad. Yeah, I'm guessing that's so 49. Well, I can't even remember where zero is. But yeah, hopefully you can enjoy Christmas, whatever the weather is, Donald. Yeah, I have to come visit the US again sometime. I do love the US, and I would love to attend CES sometime. Is anyone going to CES? What's expected at CES this year? Be fantastic to hear what the smart home companies are going to be releasing at CES. I've got a couple of the devices that are going to be, I think, released at CES. So, yeah, looking forward to reviewing some stuff in the new year again. Now, getting back to this little idea of mine. Now, I've got this idea to do some starter smart home systems. So, for example, what can we get for, say we start off at $500 US. That's what I was thinking at for an entry level system, but something that can grow with you. Because my feeling is I don't want people to spend money on things that are going to sort of not be long-term upgradable. Okay. So Zane is saying plan for IFA next year. Okay, yeah, IFA is late in the year, isn't it? And that's in Europe. I love watching these shows. IFA, ICS, yeah, fantastic. Got to visit them soon. And some of the shows in China, man, if you look at some of the technology that's being launched, obviously last year I was in China and had a look around. Just amazing what is coming out. Now, so as I was mentioning, what I'm thinking of doing is some smart home starter kits. And my first idea was to start off with a $500 system. Now, I'll be interested to hear from you all on the stream today where you think your money is best spent. If you were to go out and spend $500 today, what would you buy? Please let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you my ideas, and please feel free to counter them or to give me your ideas. So my thoughts are for a $500 system, I want people to be able to start off with something that is going to grow with them. And I think to start off with, they've got two options in my view. If this is home assistant, of course, we're talking today. So as a starter, what I was thinking is you've got two options to go. If you want to go really beginner friendly, but with something that will grow a reasonable amount with you, I would say go Home Assistant Green. I think Home Assistant Green offers a really nice, easy to start platform. You can buy it, you can plug it in, log in, and away you go. You set up and you can start. If you're a little bit more techie savvy and you're up to doing a mini PC, then yeah, mini PC I would be the way that I would go for long term. Okay, so Zane has got a comment here. Zane is saying smart plugs with energy monitoring and smart light switches. Totally, definitely a good starting point, Zane. I certainly had smart light switches on my list here. I did actually forget about smart plugs. Believe it or not, something key like that. How could I forget it? Okay. Let's see what Kiwi's got on the list here. So Kiwi is saying, I have a big pump on a tank in the paddock, got Shelly to turn the power on, which starts the pump and turns it off after 30 minutes. Learned my lesson when losing a whole tank of water. Tank is 2,500 liters of water. Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose all that water. I used to be on tank water out in Beachlands, so I know how important rainwater is to you when you're in the rural areas. Yeah, well, with that, it's great. I can see you could do lots of water automation on a rural property. Okay, so having a look at the system. So on my list was, yeah, either start off on a green if you want to have the real user-friendly, or a mini PC if you're a little bit more tech savvy. They're both going to give you a reasonable amount of growth. If you want lots of cameras and things and you want to start doing things like Frigate and that, definitely go the mini PC route. If you're just going to go for sensors and turning stuff on and off, green. Although I've heard in green people running 150 sensors and cameras, and green sounds fantastic. I've never tried it, but I think it's a good starting point. Then there's, of course, always the Raspberry Pi. If you want to go Raspberry Pi route, it's a well-supported route, and you can upgrade it. You know, you can get one with a lot of RAM, you can add an SSD, and you're going to have all of that. But I would certainly stick to one of those three as a starting point. There are other ways of getting started with Home Assistant, but I wouldn't want people to limit themselves. So those are the three that I would go for. But my choice out of the three would certainly be a mini PC. Okay. So yeah, on top of that, I had a Zigbee radio. I really like, excuse me, the idea of having a Zigbee radio because there's a lot of cheap, cost-effective sensors like we've been talking just now, the soil sensors and stuff like that run on Zigbee. So I would say getting yourself a cheap, and you can get a cheap Zigbee sensor, a Zigbee radio. You could get one of those dongle Ps from Sonoff. You know, what are you looking at? $20, $30, something like that. Crazy cheap, and you're getting started with your Zigbee. Also, water leak sensors. Yeah, very good one, Zane. Totally. Water leak sensors, without a doubt, are a key part of a beginner system. Okay, so if we're talking about 500, I said $100 for a used mini PC. You might be able to get it cheaper. I actually paid $50 for mine, so it was a massive deal. Zigbee radio, yeah, I don't know if anyone's calculating, if anyone's got a calculator on them there. can put this together. It's a little bit tricky for me to try and calculate at the same time, unless I get my phone out here. Let's do that. We'll get the phone out and get the calculator going here. Okay, there we go. So what we're saying is $100 for the mini PC or the green. Green is a little bit more. That's why I think mini PC is a great start. Okay. Zigbee radio, let's say you're going to spend $30 on a Zigbee radio. Okay. Smart plugs, what are they going for? $15, $20? Should we say, I don't know, $20 for a smart plug? How many smart plugs would you do in a beginner kit? Should we say 3 smart plugs? So 3 at $20. Should we say $60 for smart plugs? Okay. Plus, all right, what else have we got here? We've got door sensors, door and window sensors. Zigbees are really good to go here for they're really cost effective. Okay. Oh, we've got a couple more. Donald is saying here, I always like to go to the comments. The Pi 8 gig all Zigbee motion, moisture, temperature, vibration, and smart plugs. Nice one there. Adding in the vibration, Donald. That's a good one. Welcome, Yusuf. Yusuf Salim, 2025.11. Yep, 2025.11. Yep, and 2025.12 as well by now. Crazy, isn't it? Welcome, Yusuf. So Yusuf is saying, or Zane is saying, Sonoff water leak sensors, $15 each. Wow, that's cheap. Yeah, Sonoff to me is great value for stuff, value for money, and they work pretty well and really, really cost effective. Okay, so a couple of water leak sensors. Let's say one for your bathroom, one for your kitchen, maybe another one. Should we say $45 for water leak sensors? Okay. Yusuf is saying we're already waiting 2026.1. Yeah, exactly, Yusuf. What is going to come in to the list? Okay. So we've done the Zigbee radio. We've done really cost-effective ones, and they're running on Bluetooth. So you could easily, if you're running on Pi 5, you'd have Bluetooth. If you're running on mini PC, which would be my favorite, you wouldn't have Bluetooth, but you could add a ESP32 for probably $5, which would give you a Bluetooth proxy. So yeah, super cheap is Bluetooth. Okay, so that is 100 plus 30 plus 60 plus 45. Okay, let's check what next. Okay, so next I had on my list was lights. I think lights are a key part of any smart home. So, wait a minute. Let's see what Donald is saying. Donald is saying, vibration sensor is used for the kitchen counter for counter lights. Slap the counter and the under counter LED comes on. Great one. Nice automation there, Donald. Great idea. At least 1 millimeter wave sensor. Yep, you certainly go for millimeter wave. I was thinking of perhaps sticking with PIR for a beginner system, just to try and get into this $500 mark. But we could definitely put 1 millimeter wave sensor in. Which one would you recommend, Donald? What would you say a millimeter wave? Which one would you go for? And what would be your price for millimeter wave? There's quite a lot available. I see the battery millimeter wave sensors starting to come out. We've got the Apollo sensors. They're really good. We've also got Presence 1, everything Presence 1 sensors. There's quite a few options now with millimeter wave. Let me know, Donald, what you think of what millimeter wave we could add in for here. Okay, so getting back to lights. So obviously you've got two choices with lights. You can either go with wall switches, or you can go with relays to go behind the switches. Depending on whether you want to replace all your switches and have the look and feel of them. Some people don't like the look and feel of the sense of the light switches, especially the cheaper ones. So you've got two options. Certainly, once again, if you're going for, you've got sort of two basic options. You've either got Shelly or you've got Sonoff for the basic relays. And I've tested lots of them recently from both companies, both really good options. Okay, so let's say for lights, Hey there, guys. Sorry about that. I think I lost you for a minute there. I hope I'm back online now. It looks like it, for some reason or other, my browser crashed. Not sure why. Okay, so let's see what everyone is saying. Temperature and humidity sensor, maybe the Aquara one. Yeah, temperature and humidity is really important. And certainly Aquara's got some great ones there, Zane. DIY millimeter wave, there we go. How did I forget DIY, Yusuf? Great option. Yeah, millimeter wave for DIY. Man, you'll come in at crazy cheap. You could probably build your own millimeter wave. Why did I not even think of that? So let's add in a couple of DIY millimeter wave sensors that Yusuf's recommending. I reckon a DIY millimeter wave sensor, man, you'd probably come in around the $15. Yep. So we'll add in a couple of those. Let's say $30. Okay. Where are we sitting? 265. We're only halfway there. All right. So Yusuf is saying relays or smart bulbs, Zigbee. Yeah. So that's the other option. You could switch to smart bulbs, or you could use relays, or you could use relays in switches. So that's sort of the three options. I'm not sure if I've included them. I've lost it because I'm not running an Excel spreadsheet here. So I am losing a few things here. Oh, I haven't put the relays in yet. That's correct. So let's say, for example, you started off with automating how many lights? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Would you have 10 lights in your house maybe to start with? 10 times, say we went for really cost effective. No, that'd be a bit expensive. Let's say we start off with 5 lights. Okay, so we're automating 5 lights times, say, $25. That's 100. Okay, or $20. Let's say you get a $20 sensor. So that's another 100. So we'll say plus 100. Okay, we're now at 365. Okay, so 365. I don't know. Do we want to do more lights, or what other options have we got here? Zane is saying, apart from the mini PC, I think everything in the list can easily find in IKEA. Oh, yeah, man. IKEA is crazy, Zane. They are so cheap with their stuff. I mean, those little buttons I bought were 10 New Zealand dollar. That's $5 per smart button. Crazy cheap. So I can't wait to see these cheap IKEA sensors coming out. Remember, they're all going to be thread-based, so you will need a thread border router. But yeah, you could flash a dongle, and let's see what's going to happen with thread. It's going to be interesting to see. What is Donald saying? I purchased a one-zone millimeter wave that cost me £11 on new release, no longer available. Purchased 5 back then. Wow, that's a deal. Was that just the sensor that you then needed to tie up with an ESP32, or was that a complete sensor? Be interested to know. Okay. Welcome, new person to the stream. Relative normality. IKEA UK still selling the Zigbee buttons. Yeah, same as me. In Auckland, they've just opened. They're only selling the Zigbee buttons. I think we're going to have to wait until 2026 when they start releasing these new thread-based items. But looking at the range that IKEA's got, man, there's so many different options, and the prices are super cheap. But having a look at that, I think we've got a really good list of items that we can. I'm just going to add some of those items in that we had, and I forgot about the DIY. That was such a good thing. Water League, PIR. So we're going to change PIR to mmWave because I agree they are definitely far better. Donald is saying Zigbee. Yes, totally. Yusuf is saying IKEA Zigbee was also cheap. They killed many of their products. What a shame, eh? I think the reason they killed them, Donald, from what I can, or Yusuf, the reason I think that they've killed them is that they are going down the thread border router 2026, which is all massive. You all here, guys. Symphonisk Sound Remote Gen 2. I'm waiting to get my hands on this one. Symphonisk Sound Remote. Oh, I must note that down because I've never heard of that. Symphonisk. Let's see. Symphonisk Sound Remote. Let me put you on, everyone, on this so everyone can see what I'm doing. Symphonisk Sound Remote. What is that? Let's have a look. Symphonisk. Let us. Oh, interesting. Gen 2, $15.99. Oh my goodness. So this is like a multi. With this remote, you control all Symphonisk and Sonos speakers from the kitchen, bedroom, or wherever you are. The remote has 2 buttons that allows you to activate, personalize playlists. Wow. That looks cool, man. Well, that's certainly not available in Auckland at the moment. So it looks like you can use that to control the lamps. So many cool lamps at IKEA, hey? So great having IKEA finally in New Zealand. Been here 20 years, it just opened up. So yeah, that looks like a great device. Okay, so I'm assuming that's a Zigbee. My guess is they will bring out a Symphonisk remote in Matter soon, and that's the way they're going to be hammering it. Has anyone tried the actual smart home hub from IKEA? Be interested to get your feedback as to what that's like. I've seen some new videos coming out about that smart home hub, and also seems quite interesting. Obviously, that's got more expensive. Oh, my screen isn't shared. Sorry, guys. I forgot I'd lost my screen. Okay, yeah. Let's just go back here because my screen is gone. Silly me. Okay, cool. Yusuf is saying supported in Zigbee to MQTT. Okay, interesting, cool. Zane, what is Zane saying? No, don't hide, Zane. Show Zane. Come on. Show it up there. Okay, everyone, it's 11:45. It's time to say goodnight to everyone. Wake up early to travel. Good one, Zane. Thanks for joining it. Been great having you on the stream. Look forward to chatting again. Have a super Christmas and a new year. And I look forward to chatting with you again in the new year. Okay. So everyone else. All right. So we've come up with our list for a $500 system. Okay. So we've got a pretty cool list there. We've got smart buttons, I think, is what we need to add to that, because smart buttons are really cool. Okay, so I think we've got a great list. Thank you so much for everyone that's keyed in and helped with that list. Now, the next step up I said was that was $500 US. Next step up is $1,000 US. Okay, so what would you add on for that extra 500? And I've got a couple of ideas that I was thinking for the extra 500, okay? The first one was some cameras. So obviously, smart home, part of that is cameras outside your home and inside your home if you want. Now, there's a couple of options. If you're looking at cameras around the cheaper end, certainly there's some Sonos cameras that are quite affordable, both indoor, and they've now released an outdoor camera. So pretty cost effective. You could perhaps even throw one of those cameras in with the $500 system. But if you're going for a $1,000 system, personally, I would put in 1 or 2 of the Reolink cameras. And I've got a personal favorite camera of mine at the moment at Reolink, is their cameras that are utilizing the what is it called, the spotlight. Okay, so effectively, if you look at most houses, certainly in New Zealand, I don't know about US and things, but most houses have got an outdoor light already installed. It's got power going to it. All you do is you take that light off, you wire this new light in, you now have a camera, 360-degree camera, and you have your lights with your motion. Fantastic. Powered 24 hours streaming. So that is what I would do if I was going to add a camera to my $500 system. All right. Relative humidity or relative normality is saying 12:24 a.m. Wow, you're up late. I'm a morning person, so luckily you guys have got your night. I have my morning. Okay. Reeling cameras. Yeah, there. Yusuf is agreeing with me. Honestly, I'll show you this one that I'm talking about, guys. Let me just share the screen so that you can see it. We're going to share a window, and I'm going to say share it. Is it going to work? It's made me go away. What on earth is going on? You've lost my camera now. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on in the stream. I've managed to lose my camera. Why has my camera gone? Let's see. Sorry, guys. I have no idea. I've pressed something and I've lost my camera. Not sure why, but let's go add camera. It doesn't allow multiple cameras. Let's I don't know what's going on. I've lost my camera. Some reason. There I'm back. There we go, guys. Me pressing silly buttons as always. Okay, so Reolink cameras. I'm going to show you quickly this one that I think is really cool. Reolink Spotlight. Here we go. Reolink Spotlight camera. The Elite. Let me just see if we can find it here. Images. It is, where is it hiding? Where is it hiding? Where is my Reolink camera now? Typical, when you want to find something, let's just get use of this and let's go back here. The one that I'm looking for has got the 360 camera. For the life of me, we're in Google Shopping. That could be the problem. Let's just go to images. See if it'll bring it up here. No, it's not bringing it up here. Reolink Spotlight camera. Let's just do another search and see. Let's just go to all and let's go to Reolink. Oh my goodness. Do you think I can find it now? Products and dual lens cameras, accessories, PoEs, security camera systems, dual lens cameras. Where are the spotlight cameras hidden now? This is crazy. PoE and MVR. Do you think I can find these spotlight cameras? Anyway, it's got 2 spotlights on it. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Elite Wi-Fi floodlight. Oh, website's a bit slow. Anyway, you saw the one I was talking about. It's this one here. Products. Oh, come on. PoE. I'm not having much joy here. Sorry, guys. There we go. Elite floodlight for a camera. It's the turret, is it? Okay, it's a turret camera. Power over Ethernet. 12 megapixel security camera with... all right. I'm with you now. Okay. So personally, I haven't tried this one. Looks really cool. Is that a manual adjustment or is that... I think it's a manual adjustment. Looks pretty cool. Yep. So, US dollars, you'll be looking under 100. That's pretty good. Yeah. And running it into, that's great. 4 of those in Frigate. Wow. So just to tell me, relative, what are you running Frigate on? Have you got it on a mini PC and then have you got like a Coral Coral TPU adapter running to boost? Hey there, I hope I'm back and I do apologize once again. For some reason, I'm having all sorts of problems with my computer today. Relative is telling me, yeah, my video keeps freezing. I know that, sorry. I'm sure I've lost a lot of people, but yeah, one of those days. Streaming for some reason, I don't know what it's doing to my system today. It seems to be killing my system, but yep. Guys, anyway, it's been an absolutely fantastic time streaming with you all today. It's almost come to the end of the hour. I've really enjoyed it. I do apologize for the technical difficulties, but it's been fantastic chatting to you guys. It's been really good to get your feedback on this $500, $1,000 system. I'm going to do some videos on this. I think it's a great idea. As always, I've loved streaming. I really enjoy it. I will have a look into my technical difficulties and see if I can get this PC of mine sorted so it doesn't crash on me in the future. But I just want to thank you all. I want to say everyone have a super Christmas and a fantastic New Year. Please let us know in the comments what your plans are, and keep us all up to date as to what is going on in your smart home and what you've got planned for 2026. Signing out. Bye for now.